for a team a lot. But I feel like TSM now is adapting within the game from their practice better, because they've been doing better every time. Like I said, Xiao has had a longer threshold to get his prime items because it's been harder. And I feel like TSM is really getting in the mind now. But like you said, it's all on that blue side. It's been a lot about these picks and bans, and is the Tristana going to get through again?
I mean, Syndra's banned. They got to ban Rise here.
Yeah, that's
unless
true.
they let it through to Ackerman. You would think that's the corner they've put themselves into. No, because Alistair was still available. They're not willing to let it through, so...
All the power stays up.
Once again, right there. What do they get here?
Do they take the Nunu?
We said Trist is probably, or I said at the end of last game, Trist is probably worth picking on the first set of picks on the red side, but not worth first picking overall.
Right.
And TSM made that move, so very good.
And they say that Lost Boy getting Nami is very important as well. Prioritized with the first 2 picks. They show the bottom lane that has been quite strong coming out the last few games for TSM already. Now the hand of it looks like a Lee Sin for No Name. He'll get a very comfortable jungler. Wow. Everybody's pretty much getting their picks right now, for what it's worth.
I wonder how No Name is feeling with this Lee Sin pick again.
Okay.
Obviously, LMQ wants to keep it away from Amazing, but he was 0-6-0 last game on that Lee Sin. And to have a performance that poor and then be thrown right back onto the champion is tough.
And Dyrus, seeing that Lee Sin, probably thinks he's going to already get a lot of pressure. Amazing played that game, so No Name couldn't find anything. They were very good at dodging out No Name's aggression in the jungle and getting their own lead before he could even catch up. But like you said, on that Lee Sin, still has the chance to create things. And they also have that knockup composition again that could prove good for Yasuo.
A ton of playmaking already on the side of LMQ.
Yep.
The question will be if TSM can add as much playmaking onto their side. Even though there's a lot of value into having, strong tank lines, good team fight coordination, the team with more playmaking and more damage has won every game in this series. So I don't necessarily know if TSM can match that at the moment. Lulu versus Rise is probably better than Mundo versus Rise because of the playmaking potential and the damage.
I think it fit Dyrus a lot better than just kind of the sit-back champions. He definitely took control in his ganks that he was pressured on.
No.
Is he going to go for the Mundo? I'd say that Lulu would have been the better choice.
They were really close to going with their protect the Trist composition that they used against Dignitas. They could have put it all together this game if they wanted to. They would have had the Trist with Lulu, Nunu, Nami, and Orianna.
Maybe they didn't think they were going to get the Ori once they saw the Lulu.
Right, that could have been a chance, but they could have just picked the Ori right there because it's not like Xiao would have picked the Lulu. They did decide for the Mundo.
Oh,
and they're going with the Xerath again, I think, because it was such a boon for Bjergsen. This time they just have to count on Wild Turtle not getting shut down as hard in lane if they're going to go with Xerath.
Bjergsen doesn't really have the chance to get jumped on this game, so that keeps him a little bit safe. A lot of disengage from Lust Boy, so the Xerath going to be a little bit safer on the back line. But we saw as well what kind of damage Xiao was putting out, or I should say Bjergsen was putting out on Orianna, now in the hands of Xiao. That's been our featured matchup, and it's been quite a matchup in the mid lane throughout this series. Going to have to watch it again. But the new Trist being picked up quite early for TSM. Very good grabs there as well. LMQ getting a lot of top-tier picks for themselves.
As far as this series goes, absolutely. The only thing they're missing out on is the Trist.
Right.
Whereas Lucian has yet to find success. TSM lets the timer run all the way down for that Xerath pick, but it will lock in right there. So I gotta favor LMQ as far as playmaking in this team comp and damage. Like, they have the stuff they need. TSM's gonna have to play really, really well to win this.
We'll see if Bjergsen can get those early shots off and take Xiao into mid-health in the mid lane.
Will we see a different skill order from Ori and Xerath in the mid lane? Probably had a nice little spiel on that on the analyst desk. Xiao started Q on Orianna instead of shield, which in turn made him take a lot of damage from Bjergsen in lane because Bjergsen started W, and that just led to Bjergsen getting really far ahead in that game if we extend it throughout.
Yeah.
But even so, I mean, this is it, 2-2, game 5.
This is it. And huge credit to these teams for having the mental fortitude to make it this far, the physical as well. It has been a trying game so far, so back and forth. Pentakills to be kind of fizzled out in a game win, so there's so much adrenaline there. And as we get into this game 5, remember to tweet out at LOL Esports and use the hashtag LMQ or TSM win, because it's going to be the last time for this series.
Will it ever?
Yeah, keep doing it throughout the game.
Remember, this day is jam-packed with action. We have the next semifinal after this one between Curse and Cloud9. It's delivering on expectations right now. This best of 5 has been really crazy. Every game has been competitive. There's been what look like runaway games, and there's always that hint of it turning around.
So crazy.
The way the picks and bans developed, I'm honestly surprised that TSM ended up falling in with the Mundo, giving up the Rise. The stuff they ended up doing here, it almost would have been worth chancing playing against Alistair instead of what they know is going to happen against Rise. But that is their decision. They will live with it. If they win, it's all worth it.
It is going to be all worth if they win. But then again, for LMQ, the worth is all there with the composition of fighting that they brought out if they can get it in early. We're going to start this one off a lot more lax of a jungle start from both teams. We saw pretty much respect given with just wards slightly deep in the jungle, but both teams stayed out of each other's hair. We see the Ruby Crystal and the Blue Crystal starts for top lane, instead of Dyrus going for that Doran shield. Slow movement for both teams. As we expected, this is pretty much, I'm going to be surprised to see if LMQ almost plays to not lose type of game, and they're almost passive, because it's never something we've seen from them.
That's highly unlikely in a situation like this for LMQ, but at the same time, most of these guys have never been in as much of a pressure cooker.
That's true.
In comparison, regular season best of ones are scrims, one would say. Even though TSM has been the team that excels so heavily in scrims. This game.
Already a ward clear.
Should be epic. I know. Look at that.
Cash
One
money.
CS for Vasily.
Yeah, he's up. It's going to be hard.
Way ahead.
How they decide to start this. It looks like Turtle and Lost Boy are really waiting for this invade. And they're going to get hit pretty hard with what they have here in this bottom lane. Very interesting. I don't think they're going to be wanting to face check that.
So, a little bit of a mix-up here for LMQ.
Well, I don't know. This is where they swept.
Mixing things up.
Well, you're right. I see what you're saying.
They're going for a late invade to try and change the dynamic of this game or this series. TSM won't actually know about this. There's a chance they'll end up 3-buffing TSM if this all goes well. Unless Amazing defaults to trying to counter jungle, which is very unlikely against Lee Sin, he's going to run into his blue side jungle empty-handed. Yeah, this is really bad for TSM start of the game. What a time to pull off some early jungle strategies.
LMQ really coming in with a win condition on this one. It was to get in the hair of TSM quite early. I said everybody was being safe, but they knew they just had to wait a little longer before they got dangerous. They're going to go ahead and slow push this one up, make sure their CS missed. Nice job. Vasily already getting the head. 6-2 there. They're really not going to have a fun time in this lane.
And Amazing has no idea. Or does he, actually? He's thinking about going towards the buff there. No Name ran straight to his own jungle. He warded it up himself. Wow. I wonder if he gets collapsed upon here. This will be real interesting. I imagine No Name should aggress on him right now because he can't deal with the smite steal.
Ooh, he waits for the damage, connects with another one from the Golem. He's going to get a consume and smite here. No Name is forced
he
up.
didn't get it!
This one he did not get it, and he's forced to flash out. No Name follows. He can connect. He's going to get the speed. No, there's no dissonance yet coming from a level 2 Xiao Wei Xiao. He's got to connect another resonating strike, and Dyrus is being a meat wall right now. He could be the one to save it, and he does. They waste a lot to get out, and they wasted a lot to get in.
A couple missteps there by both sides. Amazing was so paranoid with getting that consume smite and getting out of there, he miscalculated his damage.
Yeah.
It's all true damage when you're dealing with level 2 smite and level 1 consume, but he did it too early. He was trying to jump the gun. It meant No Name could get the smite. No Name has level 3. He's lucky he got out with his life, but he is still behind in the jungle from that.
Bjergsen trying to put the pressure on Xiao Wei Xiao now very early. He's going to get some wards so he can keep doing this, and that one above him already keeps him safe. Fast play already, but no first blood just yet for LMQ. They have it in 3 of the games. The last game, TSM won the best win they had, they got first blood, so it's still up in the air.
Yeah, we'll see how Amazing can recover there, or how well No Name can now pressure the lanes. Last game, No Name got in a lot of trouble on Lee Sin, just trying to gank Dyrus and over and over again. This time, though, he actually has a level advantage, so even if he spends time ganking, Amazing will still not get ahead of him, because that is the third major buff No Name has picked up, and he's level 4 by 4.5 minutes.
Doing a great job, especially coming from the captain of the team, who's mostly calling the shots along with Moore. It's always good to have him on the up and up and creating the plays. See a little more movement from Amazing here. May try to get some pressure in the mid lane. If not, just get the wards, but they'd love to work on this blown flash of Xiao. Knowing he's low on mana, plays it safe. He's going to go back.
The level 1 move by LMQ is still paying dividends, and it will continue to until at least 10 minutes into the game, because they never cleared the camp. That blue buff will not respawn until TSM clears it, and then it'll be 5 minutes after that. So until at least after 10 minutes, probably 11 minutes, Bjergsen will not get a blue buff in the mid lane, where Xiao will be able to get his when their own blue respawns.
It's not something that's going to allow Bjergsen to take control of this one. We can see that Xiao actually going for the health damage build. Kind of puts 2 Dorans in there to keep himself in lane and strong. Bjergsen, the chalice.
For a gank.
Yeah, very nice path on that one.
Clever. Side brush control has been such an important. Sometimes he missed out on the river brush.
Oh, so Lustboy gets that heal. This alerts Wild Turtle, and he's going to get a quick jump out of this one. So well coordinated, but great ganks. No Name, like we're saying, always able to dodge out these wards. Just taking great paths. So they get a bit of pressure here. Makes Lustboy consider rewarding that brush. And they keep it safe. No kills across the board yet, and no huge leads out of any of these lanes. Maybe 5 to 6 CS.
Yeah, we haven't been paying close attention to the bottom lane, which has been quite a story in this series. Now that the flash is down on Lustboy, I expect more passive play from Wild Turtle, but we just saw in the graphics 7-1 and 17 on Trist this series for Wild Turtle.
Jeez.
He has really shown up in their 2 wins. But they have to play defensively here.
Yeah. Moore and Vasily always want to take aggression when they have the brush control. And love it when they have Wild Turtle under the turret. This is where Moore would just be throwing down bombs with Vasily in play, but that's been canceled out. Created too much chaos. TSM adapts, fans that out, and now they're just forced to deal with this Braum one time after the other if Lustboy can't get his Nami.
Oh, Turtle missed
very close.
So many CS there. He missed all 3 melee minions.
Going to be the discrepancy. We saw Wild Turtle picking Lucian now on Vasily quite a bit to get that damage on the caster AD. He comes back to lane, even if Trist has the upper hand. He saw that going in Wild Turtle's favor. See if Vasily can produce the same results. Right now they're going to be backing, giving TSM a little bit of room so they can go ahead and freeze that lane even more on the way back.
Yeah, well, they had to deal with the gank pressure
from
Lee Sin because of the early start. Now, LMQ is just relentlessly pressuring the jungle right here. Rise going straight for the red buff. It is warded by Amazing, but... wait, no, it's not warded by Amazing. Now it is.
Bam! There you go.
They know who is there. They're going to try and collapse down, but Bjergsen's in a bit of trouble. He's got to run.
They baited that in so well. Ackerman was already 5 steps ahead from where he needed to be. But wait, they lock him down. Lustboy on the bubble roam. Another shot. Oh, the dodges are just too good.
One more auto.
Oh, he misses! Caster minions aren't going to be in range. Ackerman. Wow, doing a little bit of a grapevine there.
So much to talk about after that. These guys are just so close. First off, Bjergsen couldn't flash a shockwave because of the rune prison.
Yeah.
Then he flashed afterwards right into turret range where he stunned Ackerman, and Ackerman just put on his dancing shoes because Bjergsen whiffed all 3 shots of that Xerath ultimate.
That was crazy. Creating diagrams all over the ground. Somehow he found his way out. He's going to be walking, or actually teleported back to lane. That teleport wasn't to the mid. That was a very good roam. And I like that they pulled Amazing into that. And as soon as they saw Bjergsen leave lane, that was their trigger. It's almost what they wanted. They said, red buff isn't important. Let's drop mid. Almost came. Almost happened. They have a 400 gold lead, 300 gold lead now, so still anybody's matchup here. No turrets have even fallen. Definitely the slower of the games we've had here in the best of 5 series. Both of these teams giving much respect to each other.
Yeah, These games will break one of two ways. You either have everyone get a little more passive because so much is on the line, or just go all in because so much is on the line.
Yep.
And this is...
Ooh, this could be good for Amazing.
Passive one.
Definitely making the initiation to go for Dragon here. Not even really too much ward control on the top side to tell them they're there. They just kind of don't see them in the wards they have. They feel comfortable. I'm
very surprised at the pink wards from LMQ right now. I didn't realize when they put them down. But they're two defensive pink wards on the bottom side of the map when they've had a very offensive jungle style with plenty of invades. Because they were trying to defend against the Nunu counter jungle, they forgot about the Nunu dragon control. And TSM is able to capitalize.
I mean, look at all the wards LMQ has placed in the bottom to just not even contest that dragon. It's crazy they weren't seen. Great pickup by Amazing. Good calls as well. A little bit of help coming in from Bjergs in the mid lane. We're going to go ahead and keep themselves strong.
The ward was actually inside the pit from LMQ's side that whole time. They just didn't have the people in position to stop that one. We can see that one at the bottom.
The other one was outside.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But even so, the pink ward vision was surprising. I think potentially if TSM ran that on top of ward and knew about it, they may not have done it.
Interesting. Trying to push Bjergsen out of lane here. Wasn't really going to get the kill out of that one. Oh, that's why.
Whoa.
No Name going a little hard on this one. Could find himself going down. It's only gonna take one. First blood for Team Solo Mid.
Jeez, another overdive there by No Name. Now going to 0-7-0 on his last two games in Lee Sin combined KDA.
Chad, I was wrong about playing safe. No Name being a shot caller is trying to go very hard on these engagements.
Definitely not going the way LMQ wanted that one too. Bjergsen actually got knocked out of his ultimate by the Lee Sin kick, but luckily the first hit was able to kill. Otherwise, that would have been a great escape by No Name. These things happening by the slimmest of margins.
Yeah. Xiao Wei Xiao still able to hold mid. He's not giving up any pressure in that situation. But Bjergsen now with a kill is on top of the CS this game. Doesn't have the regular lead that he would usually have. Ackerman not finding a good engagement here. The Rune Prison goes down. He's going to break it with that crowd control reduction. And bing, bang, boom. The Dyrus comes up big on one.
I have never seen Dyrus that emotional after a kill. He was so pumped after 1v1ing Ackerman. And that's because you do not see 1v1s happen in the top lane. It just doesn't happen with Mundo, but Dyrus lands enough cleavers, Ackerman had no flash, and there was no escaping Dyrus.
Definitely a different Dyrus after that Lulu game being a key factor for the win. He brings that momentum into the second game for a solo kill. Ackerman flashed down, utilized very well. 12 minutes into this one, TSM starts to make moves. Teleport used to the top lane, so this could be a good control if Dyrus feels he can walk it back. And with the lane push, he'll be able to. Great plays.
So an early advantage actually falling to TSM, despite what happened in the early jungle, with No Name getting the steal onto Amazing's blue buff. 1.7k gold can disappear in an instant, though, against LMQ. Especially with all the playmaking they have.
Seems like we're going to get too much aggression towards the bottom lane, which is interesting. The first game's really coordinated a lot to shut down or start Vasily. Wait a minute. Looks like you got a pickle here for Amazing. That's going to chuck him right out. Here's the teleport that Dyrus did not use to get back to lane. Hopefully he can help the team here. They're kind of outnumbered, but now they match it up. Ackerman, he could be going down. He just got back on the rift. No Name now in the wrong spot at the wrong time. He gets hit. Bjergsen picks up another one. TSM starts to run amok. Vasily goes down. Kills across the map. Moore trying to do what he can. Wild Turtle, a few more hits to keep himself alive. Drink the potion, man. Drink the potion. Moore gets popped up by a bubble. Wild Turtle stays alive anyways.
And all the credit there goes to Lustboy for flashing in front of the last Braum Q. 6 kills for TSM now in the game, 13 minutes in. Every miniature fight right there, they won.
Across the board, Jat. From top to mid to bottom, and Dyrus was involved in more than one of them. Let's see this again.
Yeah, so the ultimate from Moore completely whiffs as well as the culling. Then they turn it around with the bubble, and now it's just a matter of trying to get as much damage down as possible. Blows Vasily back. Tidal Wave hits him because he has no room to go against the wall, and this is where the happy feet start coming in from Wild Turtle. He hops in for the slow, and he's like, wait a minute, Braum does a lot of damage. Lustboy can't get ahead of Moore, and he flashes in front of what would be a fatal blow, catches him with the end of the bubble, and allows Wild Turtle the kill.
just the mindset to understand the timing of the support you're playing against, knowing when he needed to flash for that Winter's Bite to be back up. Absolutely amazing. These plays so high level. See what happens here. Whoa, Ackerman's taking damage now in that top lane, already blinking red.
Again?
What is this? Dyrus taking over on the top lane.
This could be the game right there. When the top lane dies 1v1 that many times, this could be LMQ losing control.
Whoa.
They've lost so many fights. No Name has not been able to create any plays, and Dyrus is running amok.
Completely. He only has a short range. There's one. Dyrus flashes to make sure the vision stays. What teamwork and synergy coming in. Xiao trying to answer what he can, but he's only looking to see what damage was done. Knowing they're going to take blue now, they have almost completely lost control of this game. 15 minutes in, it's only 4,000 gold, but TSM is not stopping. They're getting something almost every minute here.
Yeah, watching this last solo on Ackerman. Ackerman's just so far up in the lane, it's like he's lost knowledge of where he needs to be. He knows he can't escape Dyrus. If he's that far away from his base, Dyrus lands all the cleavers and just runs him down. It's a matter of positioning at that point. Ackerman cannot be in those spots.
They're like 10 seconds prep to just stand here for Dragon. You do not usually see this. They're not even trying to coordinate of what LMQ is bringing to the table because LMQ can.
It's a little early for the Dragon. No Name might try to go for a steal here. So Amazing has to respect that. He's waiting for the cooldown on his consume, and he's just going to secure it.
What a beautiful pull out there at the last second. TSM getting really everything to fall in their favor right now. And they might lose the top turret if Ackerman can stay strong, but Dyrus is real close to that, so he's got to back off. That turret will go down soon. They can get the trade for Dragon, but TSM with a fantastic start to game number 5.
And Xiao again is falling prey to Bjergsen Xerath. It's just this time, Bjergsen isn't having to do it alone. You can see the bottom lane was able to pick up kills.
You're right.
Dyrus picked up multiple solo kills. But still, the 3-0-1 Xerath is a huge threat. Only this time, getting a Rune Prison on Bjergsen will not win the game. They will still have to deal with the Fed Dyrus and Wild Turtle.
And you know what I'm ready for, Ja, is that for LMQ to bring this back into an almost even game. They've done it every time.
It seemed to happen.
They've done it every time, and why couldn't it happen again in this one? It may be the reason right here. This man, now in a 2v1, he's going to get the rotation. He's got mid lane. 2 coming in from the mid. Amazing is one of those. No Name so hurt. One last ice blast right to the back of the head.
Dyrus has taken over this game.
Ridiculous.
He won straight at Ackerman. No Name is there for a counter, and it is not even close to a counter. They use the range of Xerath to support Dyrus' move. A shockwave is just panic used, and now Xiao has to flash away.
They can't even hide under their own turrets right now. We're only 17 minutes in. Dyrus taking complete control of this game. Like I said, in the regular season, he had 1 kill against LMQ from that top lane. He's already set up his Lulu game 3 in this one. He's participated in quite a good amount of kills out of the 10 they have right now, 7 out of 10. And they're going to easily take this turret. 2 turrets in a row coming from the bottom lane, so they can go ahead and just rotate down if they even need to. It's so controlled by Turtle and Lustboy.
LMQ lost complete control of this game. Even for a team as aggressive as them, being down 8,000 gold 17 minutes in is near insurmountable.
The 5-game series definitely weighs on you. We also, brought to a point that Ackerman was the one we were looking at to kind of own the stage in this situation, being on the bigger one in the end.
It really seems like it. I mean, this game is so out of hand. For reference, I've checked a lot of gold leads at 20 minutes.
Right.
The largest gold lead in the NALCS in this split at 20 minutes was Complexity 8.4 thousand over, was LMQ 8.4 thousand over Complexity.
Over Complexity, right.
That's the biggest in every single game we saw this split. It is 7.9 thousand 18 minutes in. It's a catastrophic blowout right now for TSM.
Well, they're not stopping whatsoever. Look at these wards that just trail in to LMQ's base. And LMQ don't have the Nunu. They can't do some surprise bear in this game.
Turtle's caught.
Whoa, from the backside, very, very close. It's going to be No Name and more trying to put up a kill here. Turtle puts himself in the top lane. That gives LMQ access to start biting back a little bit.
Definitely, they take down one of the big threats. Dyrus, though, trying to chase down Vasily.
No, he doesn't have his flash on. That was from last time, but he can still go for this.
He's got to be careful not to over-tunnel on this one. Vasily is free now, it seems.
He can't walk through the minions that well. They were giving him the maze treatment. Crazy game. Dyrus now to put his pressure towards the bottom lane as LMQ puts power and numbers to the top to get a few, or at least one of those kills back in their favor. Now 10-2, 19 minutes in. TSM says, we'll answer back. You put more up top, so will we.
This top lane turret. TSM's going to be a little bit reserved just because Turtle did get caught out, but they know how strong Bjergsen is at the moment.
Yeah.
Dyrus as well has his teleport up, so if aggression did happen from LMQ, they would be able to counter.
Bjergsen again altering that build. Hitting up that Rabadon's Scrying Orb as well, coming out so early for that Xerath. Hasn't been used too much this time, but they really haven't had the chance. Every fight's been right in front, and they're getting what they want. Wild Turtle creating pressure in mid with Dyrus, calls 3 LMQ members as 3 members of TSM now towards the top lane.
Yep, so much control. TSM using their goal lead.
Yeah.
To just kind of throw their weight around the map. Look at that damage.
He couldn't even really see him yet. The only reason he had vision was from the turret, but he was in no range to attack. Almost gets down, taking 25% HP. No Name has to reconsider these engages.
And remember, this is a TSM team with a Nunu, so if they want to turn tail for Baron, they very well can.
That's true.
And it doesn't seem like LMQ would be even able to check based on just walking up to that turret. They barely can't even stand there.
Good wave on this one. We have Wild Turtle coming around the outside. He's going to be able to hit shots from just the corner of the trees there. This turret should be going down on this ring around. Good hits. No Name still. He just came back with full health. Now down to half health again. Slowly pressuring into this inhibitor turret. I don't know if these guys are going to be able to get it just yet, but they are giving LMQ so much to think about. There's a lot on their plate right now.
Yeah, nearly 10,000 gold now coming in from this one. Death cap surely to be completed by Bjergsen.
Boom.
There it is.
And the elixir. They're ready for impact fights.
They're ready for a big fight. They're probably just going to have one ward. TSM needs to have one ward around Baron, go take a dragon, and then go take another Baron. Like, they are so far ahead. If LMQ just finds them in any stretch of the imagination, LMQ will lose the fight.
Right.
This game is so far out of control. It's almost like a matter of time. As long as TSM just slowly executes, they will be going to the World Championship.
Trying to formulate that plan right now as they make their way to the bottom side of the jungle. Looks like they're getting a lot of deep pink wards in here, and they're definitely prioritizing wards a bit more than what the inventories of LMQ are able to, but they're not really ready to push out of their base just yet. So TSM easily take this uncontested, over a 10,000 gold lead after this chat. 10-2, 22 minutes in. 2 item thresholds across the board for TSM.
Red team's turret has been
Very nicely done.
After such a series, to have a Game 5 this one-sided, a lot of time, just experience, cool, maybe even a bit of a home crowd. So many TSM fans here helping out for this one. They have outplayed LMQ in so many ways this game. 1v1 in the top lane with Dyrus. Turtle and Lustboy finally overcoming Basilian Moore in a 2v2, something they hadn't been able to do. And then Bjergsen just in tandem with Amazing, creating a lot of positive plays for TSM.
It's that mid-game adaptation. Able to see and work around. Dyrus now to the bottom lane here. Ackerman still taking a sufficient amount of damage from those cleavers. Dyrus has all day with the wards he has in the bottom lane to keep this pressure up. Amazing. And a nuisance in the mid lane. TSM slowing down a little bit here.
Yeah.
They're looking for fights that LMQ is going to give them, and they can't start to do that.
They're so used to playing against the LMQ that's just going to run into them again and again. They're just kind of waiting. When are they going to come back? No, this time TSM has to make their own opportunity here. All they need to do is get vision control of the blue buff, poke with Xerath, take Baron.
That's a level.
Or they're so far ahead, just poke with Xerath and try and get an inhibitor.
Level 14 Xerath, highest in the game right now. And it looks like they won't be able to get too much past this. Zhao not really able to trade back other than siege clear, and he's down to about 15% HP. There's going to be a Baron Pain coming in from Team Solo Mid.
Yeah, they can kill it very quickly, and the approach from LMQ, as long as it's blind, is incredibly dangerous.
Looks like they're going to bushwhack him. They got the pause going on.
They want to try and get him. There's the stun.
Oh, that's going to be the long-range stun. Max amount of time coming from Xerath. That's going to be the one. Moore could have a huge Glacial Fissure to break this up, but now it's just up to No Name. And Xiao.
Mason's going to make sure to save his mana, actually. He will get the free spell every time he attacks enough times,
Right.
just because of his passive. I mean, No Name's got to try for a Miracle Steal, but there's so many people from TSM here. He snuck around the side unnoticed. He landed the Q, so they have to wait this one out. He doesn't even let him come in. Amazing with the strong smite and the initiation try.
Tidal wave goes out. This is really to push out. Xiao takes a hit. He gets the summoner heal from Vasily that just keeps him alive. Dyrus could easily get in range on this one. He's got a slalom through the minions. He can make it. Tries to go.
He hit him.
He did hit him just on the outside edge of that. Very low. Xiao not able to participate in this fight. And TSM, yes, they are trying to engage on these. Dyrus be in the front line, but they were not able to successfully get a catch.
Pretty large gold pockets right now for TSM. 1,500 gold on 4 different people, so they actually have 6,500 unspent gold right now, but the Baron buff and the level advantage mean they can continue pushing.
They have this wave. Very nice siege wave to come in. They're going to get some extra shots out of that. They should be able to take this down. Amazing. Pretty far ahead as well. He's looking at 12s and 11s. He's a 13 and he's not taking too much damage. So TSM is keeping everybody really in the lead in this game from every lane. Great job, half health on the turret, and this is going to go down ever so slowly, but it should go down.
Well, if they want to play this cautious, they should go back to base and shop, but they've already done 2/3 of the turret, so they're kind of thinking they want to do it, but it is a little bit dangerous, even though it's most likely a high percentage play. The memories of Xiao's pentakill are still pretty fresh.
They ring true in the heads of
Bjergsen's got
TSM.
man in the poke now, though.
Yeah,
there's the blue buff. That's what they were waiting for. There's the try.
Oh, good flash by Bjergsen. Gets himself to complete safety. Nobody can get to him on the back line, and TSM is now funneling through a choke point that LMQ put themselves in. No Name, solo. That's going to be the kill. Lustboy is able to pick it up. Chat, this could almost be it. The inhibitors could definitely go down here if TSM can get themselves into place. The minion wave is just a ways away, and they're going to get the last bit of damage on this inhibitor turret.
25 minutes in, 2 dead on LMQ's side. This inhibitor surely going down to TSM, and 1 step closer to the World Finals.
Great use of the Baron. They're waiting for the blue buff they had timed on LMQ's side and utilized that along with their Baron buff to take the inhibitor. Great job. 26 minutes in, they cracked the base of LMQ.
They're going to be so powerful when they come back.
This is going to be the first time coming out of the red side. TSM could be taking that game. We've had 4 blue wins here. Picks and bans have just been such a game of chess that it seems like the blue team have always won, but TSM, Dyrus, not letting that happen this game with Mundo in the top lane. He is really firing up the rest of the team.
And this game doesn't really do the series justice because LMQ has played so well throughout this entire series. It's just everything that could go wrong did go wrong for them this game, save for the very early smite that No Name had on their own blue buff. Everything else went TSM's way. But TSM has still performed remarkably well here, wanting to clinch and make it to their 4th consecutive LCS North American finals as far as splits go. They've been in every single final.
Quite a crazy feat, but they could make it happen. Bjergsen roaming down to the bottom lane now. Team has pretty good control just all along the red side here of LMQ. With Baron down, the map objective free, they can roam to this bottom lane and start to spread LMQ thin. What could be a little bit of a split push here with Dyrus.
Yeah, 14, maybe 15,000 gold right now. This is all but decided as long as TSM just goes through the motions, takes down the turrets, and takes the win. It could very well be on this push if LMQ decides to fight.
Looks like Dyrus is actually going to join the team instead of go for that mid-minion wave. Definitely having more use here to be a tank on the turret for Wild Turtle. And he's not having any trouble doing that. Oh, Ackerman dodges out once again on what could have killed him. Good focus from Wild Turtle and the rest of the team here to try and drop that turret. Without the minions, they're having a bit of trouble, but now it should go down a lot easier. And they're getting themselves in. Culling doing practically nothing there. An ultimate down. Xiao throws the ball off, but he's going to get tidal wave. Dyrus very low, does get dropped. Few kills coming in there on TSM side. World Turtle going hard. There's going to be the triple kill coming in. No, it goes over another double for Bjergsen. Chat, the inhibitors are down. The Nexus turrets are in the eyes. The team solo mid, and they're going to solidify a trip to the World Championship.
And to the finals that we will be playing on Monday for North America. What a series TSM wins! Standing ovation from the majority of the crowd here. And they deserve it. Both teams deserve this, playing all the way to the 5th game.
Look at that. Reginald and Loco. No, Dyrus played a pivotal role in that. He exploded. We have not seen that play from Dyrus all summer split, any split. He took control. TSM brought out what happens in their scrims, and they brought it to the LCS stage. They got the results they have when they play back at home, and it's got to feel quite good.
Yeah, even thinking back to the pick and ban in this Game 5, he hovered the Lulu. Mundo had not done well in this series whatsoever.
How could we question it?
Well, Dyrus showed up on Mundo, that's for sure.
LMQ still with an amazing game of their own. Zhao Weizhao coming out very strong in those matchups versus Bjergsen. But as you can hear the crowd cheering, it was TSM that came out on top in the end. Now to the third place match. It was LMQ.
Yeah, it's got to feel good for Dyrus having several thousand people chanting TSM after a very difficult split it has been for TSM. Lots of changes to their roster to start, even having to do a last-minute replacement with Lustboy. But now they're in the finals of North America.
And the best of fives show us quite a bit that we haven't seen before in the NALCS.
Really
it is testing these teams to the max. A fantastic playoffs that you can see, just so relaxed, drained from these games. I know everybody in the crowd and watching at home as well. Guess what? We got another game that could go for fun. We got 10 games today.
Potentially.
It's a super day.
We're going to see the other team. There's another team that's going to be clinching a chance at the World Championship and also a spot in the finals happening right very soon.
That's so